So, the way we're going to do it today, or the way I'm going to try and do it today, is I'm going to split the WrestleMania news into one video and the non WrestleMania news into the other. And we're going to get to the non WrestleMania news first, as it starts with last weekend we saw the first television tapings for Ring of Honor on the Honor Club, which are set to air this Thursday, March 1st. No, it can't be right. No, actually it is. Wait, no. March 1st is Wednesday. So it's March 2nd. It must be March 2nd. This Thursday on Honor Club, which you can get it's a subscription-based service on ringofhonor.com or ringofhonorwrestling.com for $9.99 a month. But either way, Zack Sabre Jr. appeared to defend his New Japan World Television Championship against Blake Christian on the event, and it was a surprise because I think there were some people that didn't expect a New Japan star, number one, to appear at the event, and number two, they didn't expect a champion of New Japan to appear, or from New Japan to appear at the event either. But either way, Zack Sabre Jr. did make his presence felt at the event, and hopefully maybe seeing Zack Sabre Jr. or other New Japan stars at Ring of Honor shows in the future will not be something that we don't see more often. And also as I saw both the tapings for Saturday and Sunday, we see a lot of Ring of Honor Pure Champion Wheeler Yuta, and we see a little bit of the Ring of Honor World Champion Claudio Castagnoli as Ring of Honor looks to their next pay-per-view, which is, I believe, in March. And I want to say it's Supercard of Honor. I want to say it's Supercard of Honor. I'm not sure, but I do believe it is Supercard of Honor in March. So the TV tapings that we saw this weekend will likely build, or are likely building, to Supercard of Honor in March. Because I do think the anniversary show in February would have been their first pay-per-view, but because of the TV tapings coming up at the end of February, I don't think that they wanted to run the anniversary show. Because also, technically, I guess they're not really looking back at the previous Ring of Honor incarnation of Ring of Honor and rewarding the legacy of that brand, as it is a different brand under the direction of Tony Khan. But either way, more Ring of Honor news will likely come out as we get closer to Supercard of Honor, and also as we get closer to whenever the next TV taping is, which I would probably put it either end of March or early April, when we would see another TV taping for Ring of Honor, but that's just me. Speaking of March, though, on March the 5th, AEW has their first pay-per-view of 2023 with AEW Revolution, and we know the top match is a 60-minute Iron Man match between MJF and Bryan Danielson for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. But Ricky Starks finally has his match at Revolution, and his match at Revolution will be against the Le Champion Y2J Chris Jericho, and the JAS will be banned from ringside. As Ricky Starks has said in the past, he needs another victory over Chris Jericho to prove himself as a capable challenger and somebody who could be up a little bit on the card. And I completely agree that Ricky Starks needs another championship, another win against Chris Jericho to prove himself worthy of being talked about in the upper echelon of AEW talent. Because one victory, okay, you got lucky. 2 victories, you're sort of proving a point. You're sort of proving a point here. And plus, there's got to be a feud eventually where Jericho doesn't win. There's got to be a feud eventually where Jericho doesn't win the feud. An interesting bit of news, though, as Nigel McGuinness will be making an appearance at Progress Chapter 150, The Man Comes Around. When the man comes around, as the company announced, Nigel will be a part of the Super Strong Style 16 weekend, which begins on May 27th and culminates on May 29th. It is unclear right now how Nigel will be a part of the tournament, but it does mention in the press release that Nigel is a commentator and a retired professional wrestler, best known for his time in WWE, where he worked as a color commentator for NXT, NXT UK, NXT Level Up. And as a wrestler, he's known for his work in Ring of Honor. And also, he did spend some time as a commentator in Ring of Honor before getting sent over to WWE. But he is also a former champion in Ring of Honor, and also Nigel is, from the UK, so him going back home and doing something back home is always a sight to see. As Super Strong Style 16 is the most important event on the calendar of Progress and the biggest edition of the Super Strong 16 in 2023. As mentioned, though, it is unclear right now how Nigel will be a part of it, but I will keep you up to date on Nigel's involvement in Progress 150 or Chapter 150, because this is the first time we've heard of Nigel doing something in professional wrestling since leaving WWE. Or I can't remember if Nigel left or was released, to be honest with you. Either way, though, it is the first time we've heard Nigel doing something since his WWE departure. So it is great to hear Nigel back involved in professional wrestling. A little bit of news here is, before we get to the big story, I just want to talk about Impact Wrestling. As Impact Wrestling crowned new tag team champions, with Chris Bay and Ace Austin winning the tag team gold from the Motor City Machine Guns. That does mean that the Bullet Club are Impact Wrestling tag team champions. So props to Chris Bay and Ace Austin for becoming Impact Wrestling Tag Team Champions and dethroning the Motor City Machine Guns at 79 days. That was news actually yesterday, but that, along with another story, were the only 2 bits of news I had to report yesterday, and I didn't really want to just report. I probably could have talked about the Jericho Ricky Stark stuff, but I didn't want to just report 3 stories or talk about 3 stories. So that's why we did the WrestleMania prediction video and skipped the day with the news. But congratulations to Chris Bay and Ace Austin. This is actually, to my knowledge, the first time Ace Austin has won championship gold in Impact Wrestling since becoming X Division champion a few years ago. So props to Ace Austin and also Chris Bay, as I do believe Chris Bay is a former Impact Wrestling X Division champion as well. So props to the both of them. The biggest story, though, in this news video is the fact that WWE has plans to go hard against AEW when AEW stars' contracts are up. And I mean, you could speculate all you want who WWE will go hard for, but I would say Kenny Omega is probably the tops. You know, is probably at the top of the list of people that WWE will go hard for when the time comes, even though Kenny's contract has gotten time added, because originally the speculation was Kenny's contract was up in February, but now with time added, his contract will likely be up in the fall. But now the question is, if WWE is going to be interested in Kenny Omega, does that mean that that WWE would look to bring that WWE would look to bring Kenny in as a surprise entrant for the Royal Rumble? And not, like, basically, if they sign him in the fall, would they hold off bringing him in until, like, December, and then have him be the first person to announce for the Royal Rumble? Because just think about the fact that Cody Rhodes made his WWE return, and within a year of making his WWE return, he is challenging Roman Reigns for the Undisputed Universal Championship, and will likely get the victory and become Undisputed Universal Champion at WrestleMania. I mean, it's something that I'm sure AEW stars are keeping in mind, seeing Cody Rhodes, one of the former top executives of the company, being put in a position where he is not only going to succeed, but he could be a WWE Undisputed Universal Champion. Speaking, though, of Kenny Omega and his contract, apparently, according to Wade Keller of PW Torch, Kenny Omega is open-minded about a WWE debut before he retires, and spending time in WWE before he retires. I think there's a lot of fans that would love to see Kenny finally put together those dream matches with the likes of Seth Rollins and, I mean, Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn. You know, the list goes on and on and on about WWE talent that we would love to see Kenny Omega get in the ring with. I'm sure there are some that even want to see him get in the ring with Xavier Woods and the New Day. But the fact of the matter is, Kenny Omega is in a position now where at some point he will be able to decide where he wants to go. And the fact of the matter is, AEW may not be able to compete with WWE's money. Or maybe they will be, who knows. But the fact of the matter is, Kenny will have the ultimate decision of where he wants to go when his contract's up. If he wants to stay in AEW, or if he does want to get a run one time before he retires in WWE. Either way, it is for the first time in quite a while we actually are able to end this video at a clear note, on a clear note. But like I said, we got a WrestleMania news video coming up because there is a lot of WrestleMania news in the news cycle. No rumored matches. More backstage morale. Either way, though, I will see you in the next news video.